my god, gamers, Arlo's in trouble again. Apparently, he's been gaslit. Don't gaslight me about Super Mario Odyssey. Who the hell has been gaslighting my puppet, man? No, hang on. Which one? No, hang on. Who's been... I'm no stream. I'm pausing everything until you guys tell me who the fuck it has gaslit Arlo. No, I'm waiting. I will wait here. I will wait. It was me? Okay. Kill him. Perma. Mods, perma. He's gone. Who else? Who else did it? It's me, I was trolling. Okay, perma. Gone. Users' messages will be hidden. Gone. Finished. Never chat in my chat again. It was it. Obvious that... Gone. You're gone as well. You're finished. How many people am I banning today? How many people am I banning today? Actually, unbelievable behavior from the lot of you. Who else was it? No one else? Is that everyone? The people? That includes you, Duncan Day, and banned. Perma. Never talking to my chat again. I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you in this town again. All right, Arlo, I have banned all of the people that gaslit you. So ideally, this will be safe. We're safe now, right? Let's continue.
All right, so I just published my video going over my hopes for DK Bonanza. And in that video, I mentioned how I really want DK Bonanza to appeal to the whole...
I just want to clarify, I have unbanned everyone that I banned because it was me, chat. It was me. I gaslit Arlo. Don't tell him, though. Don't tell him.
Fan base, you know, I don't want it to be divisive as I feel Mario Odyssey was. And...
Oh, hang on. Sorry. One more... Excuse me? One more time? Hang on. What?
I really want DK Bonanza to appeal to the whole fan base. You know, I don't want it to be divisive as I feel Mario Odyssey.
On my mama, on my fucking family legacy. Who the hell told you? Excuse... Hang on. No, seriously. I'm not even joking. Who gaslit him? No, seriously. No, seriously. No, I'm not joking now. I'm actually not joking. There was like that one... What's that guy's name? Joseph Anderson, I think? That one video, that is it. That is legitimately the only video I've seen... like, on the internet. Like, there's some sentiment around, like, maybe too many, like, there's some general arguments you hear about Odyssey, but divisive? No! Shot! I wouldn't even, no, not even close. I'd say, like, yeah, some chattering. I would say, like, there's some chattering, that's fair, but divisive? Like, if you're asking me, define divisive, I would say, like, there is, maybe not necessarily 50-50, but I would say there's like 60-40. Does that make sense? There is 60-40 argumentation on either side. Does that make sense? Like 60% pro, or maybe like 54-46. That's what I would, that is what I would classify as divisive or divisive. Is that like the haters and the fans are like 60-40 or 40-60 or 55-45, something like that. But Odyssey is like 90-10. Like, I would say, if even, and 10 is being generous. 10 is being very, very, very generous. I'm being as generous as I can to you. Do you know what I mean? I would say like 95-5. Like 95% of people love Odyssey and like 5% do not like it. I would say 95-5. If I'm being generous, I give you 90-10. And that's me being generous. Good. Where did you get this from? Hang on, gamers. Do we do a bit of investigating? Hold up. Fuck. Was it this? Hang on, which video was it? My hopes for Donkey Kong Bonanza. Let's click on it.
Boy, sometimes it just seems
hang on. What exactly did he say? Let's say again.
In that video, I mentioned how I really want DK Bonanza to appeal to the whole thing.
Okay, let's try and... So what we're going to do, I'm going to bring up the transcript. I want to hear what exactly did he say. Let's try and look the word appeal. It looks more broadly appealing. That's the only instance of appeal. Does he say the word divisive at any point? Here we go. Let's start from about here.
Hope everyone loves it. It still breaks my heart that Super Mario Odyssey was so divisive and that, you know, like it was really hyped up at the time, but now, all these years later, you can't bring it up without everybody kind of dogpiling it, you know?
What is he he actually got people online. He actually got gaslit hard. Holy! Like, again, like, you get the odd person saying, too many moons, too many moons, too many moons, but that's kind of it. Do you know what I mean? Crazy work, Arlo. Actually, crazy work. Hang on. Let's go back up here again. Odyssey was so divisive. Like, I was really hyped up at the time, but after all these years later, you can't bring out with everyone kind of dogpiling, you know? Opinions have kind of soured.
Dogpiling it, you know, opinions on it have kind of soured. There's a pretty good percentage of the population who was not really happy with it, and I'm not going to blame them. I'm not going to say that they're...
Yeah, I think a loud minority got to him. I think this is genuinely one of the... ideally, this will be Arlo's lesson learned. bit of a shame you didn't learn it sooner. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things where, like, when you're like a voice as a critic on the internet, what have you, you want to be able to like filter out the noise. I feel like I feel like this is a skill I'm very, very good at. You know, I feel like various skills I'm kind of like, you know, varying different skill levels at. But like, I feel like this is one that I'm very, very, very good at. You know, which is filtering out the noise. Like, for example, with my 1.1.2 thing, right? People kept saying Mario Kart's dead, Mario Kart's dead, Mario Kart's dead. I was like, I'm going to filter out the noise, and I'm just going to play the game myself and figure it out. I think this is one, and obviously, no one's perfect. I'm sure there might be an instance in the future where I get gaslit by the loud minority, but with Mario, if you're going to have your one flub chat, you had it with Mario Odyssey? This game? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, this, people gaslit you that this game was divisive? You know what I mean? Like, of all the things that happened, you know, that's crazy. Still breaks my heart that it's divisive, and I think the other two ones are the comments. So there's 3 instances where he says that word directly in the video, and the other 2 are the comments. So that's craziness, honestly. And I mean, it's another reason. Hang on, it's another reason I wanted Odyssey 2. He says here,
being so divisive, it's another reason I really wanted Odyssey 2. It was a great opportunity, but whatever. I gotta shut up about Odyssey 2 someday.
Yeah, honestly, actually crazy. Like Sunshine would make more sense. Yeah, Sunshine, I would say, is a divisive game. That is one that if you said to me right now, Sunshine is divisive, I'd be like, I'd say it's shit, but you know, divisive works. But yeah, like that's probably like is there any other Mario game you could, like, that's probably the only Mario game you could describe as divisive. I want to say divisive because I think it's funnier. That's probably the only Mario game you could say is divisive. Like Arlo, say your opinion with your chest, break the people online shield and be honest with your opinions. I get it. Arlo's just a nice guy. Arlo's just a nice guy to a fault. I get it. I'm not gonna fault him too hard for that. Not everyone could be a Sir Mercy. That's what makes me so unique and special, Snowflake gamers. Sunshine Slime is boring because people know that they're right. 3D Land's a little divisive too. I'd say I wouldn't say it's divisive. I'd say it's just forgotten. Nah, I wouldn't be comfortable using the word divisive for 3D Land now, personally. I wouldn't say that. Mario 64 DS? I still don't know if 3D Land, I still don't know if I'd be comfortable using the word divisive. I'm more comfortable using divisive for Mario 64 DS than I am 3D Land, you know? Yeah, most people don't have a strong opinion on 3D Land. Yeah, so it's like, divisive implies that there's strong opinions on either side, do you know what I mean? World was divisive at the time. I think so. Oh, 3D World? I would say 3D World was at the time, but post Odyssey, definitely not. It's not divisive because people don't play it on nostalgia for it, basically. Yeah, 3D World pre Odyssey, I would say was divisive, 100%. Now, not so much. It's probably. I'm not gonna lie, guys. If you said 3D World was your favorite Mario game, I wouldn't fault you. If you said it was the best Mario game, I wouldn't fault you. But yeah, at the time, yeah, definitely. Yeah, like Sunshine is the one I'm very comfortable saying you can say divisive and that'd be fine. Origami King, I would say Origami King. Just from the outside looking in, I'm not really into the Paper Mario community. From the outside looking in, I would say Origami King sounds like it because it seems like every single time I talk to someone who's played Origami King, I get like varying different opinions. It feels like to me anyway. So yeah, either way, let's continue. Let's continue with our main course, right? PIT. Maybe. But yeah, let's continue with the video for now. Good conversation, chat. Let's continue with the video.
I really want DK Bonanza to appeal to the whole fan base. You know, I don't want it to be divisive, as I feel Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, and as we've seen, as we did our research, guys, I definitely think he got people online a little bit, unfortunately. Happens.
And I got so many comments being like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Divisive. Since when is Super Mario Odyssey divisive?
Literally.
Everyone loves Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
And you know, I'd see one and I'd be like, okay, well, this person clearly doesn't know what they're talking about. But then I'd see more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
So many of the, if anything, the consensus in the comments section seems to be that Super Mario Odyssey is not a divisive game. It is a well-loved game.
Exactly. I would say exactly that too.
And I'm feeling one or two ways here.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling like either one, this is some sort of crazy gaslighting campaign. Just somehow, I don't know how this was coordinated. I don't know how everyone anticipated this coming, and I just posted this video. I don't know how they could have collaborated this quickly. This is clearly everybody getting together and trying to gaslight Arlo into thinking that Mario Odyssey is not a divisive game. Everyone loves Mario Odyssey. It's either that or I've been Mandela'd. I have slipped into I don't know when it would have happened. Maybe.
I think he's kind of tongue-in-cheeking a little, but if we were to use some musty lingo gamers, what do we think has happened to Arlo? Enter your guesses now. I would say personally, I think you've been people online, which the description for that is you have let a small minority, or just 10 people, you have let a small minority of a very loud minority of the online populace sway your entire view of a piece of media, which is unfortunate, happens to the best of us. As I said, though, Arlo, I think as a critic online, thank you, chat, I think you should be better guarded at this sort of thing. Again, it's about Mario Odyssey, so I'm gonna give you a slap on the wrist for this. Do you know what I mean? But I would say in the future, though, be careful. Arlo. Listen, I'm watching you. Okay, I'm watching you, Puppet Man. Be careful.
Maybe last night. Maybe, you know, you slip. You fall into an alternate.
I've been almost people online on some occasions. Thank God. Yeah, like, again, it happens. But I'm just like,
you wake up.
Did this happen with Ozzy and Superman? Yeah, like my brother thought Superman was super divisive, and it's like, isn't it like super high rated on like fucking?
Okay, and you live
everything?
in a world where Mario Odyssey is not divisive. Everyone loved it. So I'm feeling confused here. Okay, so let's be serious.
Problem with Arlo, he's being too influenced by opinions he wants to agree with but doesn't want to. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm not sure. Translate that for me, please.
Absolutely recognize.
I'll buy you a cup of coffee and a chocolate bar. Take a break from social media. I think he kind of has to, doesn't he? I think he has to take a little bit of a break, man. Like, again, slap on the wrist. Just making it clear, guys. Slap on the wrist. It's nothing serious. But I don't know, man. Like this, to get gaslit into thinking Odyssey is divisive is wild, man. I'm sorry.
Two things.
That's crazy, man.
The first thing that I recognize is that the vocal minority, especially among the gaming populace, tends to kind of overrun the whole conversation. Sometimes,
if you spend too much time on the internet, sure, but oh man, yeah, I would agree. Yes,
it's hard to even tell what everyone thinks about something when just a very, very small percentage of them are just so loud.
I would say, yeah, like obviously when people don't like something, they're much more likely to be like fervent with their beliefs. Again, which is why I think this is why I like my Discord, because I think my Discord is a good microcosm of like gaming discourse, if that makes sense, right? Obviously, when it comes to Twitter, when it comes to like Facebook, when it comes to Reddit, like it's all a wash because there's too many people. But like my Discord, for example, if someone's going to share a negative opinion, more often than not, someone's going to go, where's the receipts? Where's the receipts, big man? And then they're going to have to go, oh, I don't like this game because... And then, you know what I mean? You get some actual explanation. And then when I see that sort of thing, then I can use that as my barometer for, okay, someone on my Discord said this. Is this something that the gaming populace think? Or, like, I think having a smaller microcosm that you can use to, like, see the lens of gamerdom as a whole, I think is very, very important. That's what I like about my Discord. So I think when you go on Twitter and you see like, Odyssey sucks, 30k fucking likes, obviously, yeah, they're obviously rage baiting. They're either rage baiting for attention or rage baiting for fucking money, bro. You telling me that De Niro pays, bro? Skewed. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're gonna have your online opinion skewed, or like if you're gonna find some information online, let it be in a place where you know people are at least being somewhat more earnest with their opinions. Twitter is like the worst. If you actually wanted like genuine gaming discourse and opinions, Twitter's 100% the worst for it. Because like not only do you have to deal with people potentially rage baiting, but like rage baiting gets you the most engagement, which gets you the most money. So like there is monetary incentives for people to be like as flippant, as fervent, as provocative as possible. Now I like being provocative because I think, well, that's mainly because I just think it's funny. I like playing the heel. It's funny that way. But like, but that's why smaller communities and like having I don't know if Arlo has a Discord or anything like that, but like having a Discord, whether it's a members only one or like a Patreon, I don't know how it works for you. That sort of thing is important because then it gives you like a nice insight into how a smaller population, a smaller sample size of gamers are, so moments like this literally don't happen. That's why it's very, very important. I still think Steam communities are the worst. Oh, fair enough, I'll take your word for it. But yeah, I think Twitter is definitely like 100% the worst because like again, there's at least with Reddit. Obviously, there's sad people who like to karma farm, but it's much less when there's actual money involved on Twitter. Like, yeah, it's a wash. It's a way more of a wash than most places are. So yeah, I would say just gotta be careful. You just gotta be careful, Arlo, man. You gotta be way more careful than this. Again, slap on the wrist, making it clear, slap on the wrist, slap on the wrist. But you gotta be careful, Arlo. You gotta be careful. Is it a hot take to say Mario Odyssey's presentation is a step back compared to 3D World? Maybe, but that's because like when it comes to like, I think the most difficult thing about an open world is that because the player can approach it in so many different ways and so many different angles, there's only so much you can do in terms of a presentation front because sometimes you're not sure where the player's going to come from. Like, for example, with a 3D world level, you know the player's going to start here, the player's going to end up here. So as a result, you can perfectly craft the entire experience around where exactly they're going to go. With an open world game, it's very, very hard to do. So having like a big sort of grandiose presentation is a lot harder to do. That's what I would say. So while you might say on a presentation front it's worse, I think it just kind of like, I think it's just kind of the nature, you know what I mean? Like is the nature of open world things kind of lends itself to like more player made value as opposed to like in-game value sort of thing. I don't know. That's what I would say off the top of my head anyway. I reckon on Twitter and stuff, negativity seems to be promoted because it does get the most attention. Yeah, like the algorithms want you to stay on their site as long as possible. And what is the most potent emotion of all? Anger, obviously. When you're angry at something, you want to engage with it. You want to get your thoughts out there. Because, like, most of us have a bug in our brain. And rightfully so. I say bug in our... I'm being a bit provocative when I say bug in our brain. But, like, most of us have a bug in our brain where, like, if that someone can't be wrong. You can't be wrong on the internet. They have to know that they're wrong, you know? And then I think that's the emotion they feed on to get you to engage as much as possible. For me, it's like, don't get me wrong, sometimes a spark flies off and sometimes I get the urge to, but then I just take a deep breath and I'm like, it's not worth it, Moresty. Not interested, okay? Just get your funny memes. Just do your funny memes, you know? That's what you do. I genuinely think it's terrible to have a constant feeling of always agree or disagree with every single opinion you see, therefore slanting your critical lens in a hang on. I genuinely think it's terrible to have a constant feeling of always to agree to disagree with every single opinion you see, but therefore slanting your critical lens. Yeah, I think you have to get a mix. It's important to get a mix of opinions. That's what I like about my Discord. That's why my Discord is the best place on planet Earth, and you guys should join. Okay, that's why all of you guys should join. I can mentally be draining to be constantly exposed to rage bait. So in that case, hide or block posts. Yeah, literally, like I feel like I'm a broken record, and I'm really, really sorry if I am, chat. But like, so many people just don't realize you can like to this day, chat. I'm still getting comments of people saying, "Wow, Moresty, I genuinely like have taken your advice to heart, and I started blocking people and saying not interested, and oh my god, my experience on the internet is so much better." The fact that I'm still getting comments of that ilk to this day indicates that even though sometimes I understand I might feel like a broken record, it is important to repeat. If you see some shit on the internet you don't want to see, not interested, mute, block. I promise you it makes the internet so much better. I promise. My Twitter feed is fire. Do I have to do another live Twitter viewing, chat? Because my Twitter feed is just fucking fire, man. I love it. My Twitter feed is just shit posts and memes, okay? Like like it's like my Twitter feed is just this shit. It's just this dumb shit. Losing interest in a franchise but taking that one character you love with me. It's just this nonsense. This is literally my entire Twitter feed. It's just nonsense memes like this. Some of them aren't that funny. Some of them are funny. But Lord knows I leave like much more happy than when I left. You know what I mean? Like I saw this one earlier. My family aren't being. It's r/nofap, by the way. My family aren't being supportive. And like he told his parents, "Hey guys, I haven't fucking furiously masturbated for 10 10 days. And I'm just like, why would you tell them? Why would you tell your parents you haven't masturbated for 10 days? That's not the kind of thing you celebrate with your family. You keep that to yourself, broski. I'm proud of you, but don't tell your parents, you know? So my Twitter feed is fire, okay? My Twitter feed's fire. Arlo, start liking some shitpost memes, okay? I'm telling you, my Twitter feed is fire. Oh, man. Anyway, let's continue.
Just kind
so let's skip back a bit just so I can remember what you're talking about.
It's hard to even tell what everyone thinks about something when just a very, very small
As I said, guys, smaller microcosms is what you need, yeah.
You know, most people just kind of play games and have feelings on them.
Most people are normal. Most people are, hi, how are you?
In a lot of cases with big Nintendo games, they probably just like them. They probably just enjoy them.
Yeah.
But then you get that little tiny percentage of people who have something angry to say about them or just didn't like them or whatever, and they want to share their opinion. It's a weird psychological thing. It goes beyond video games. People are way more likely to share a negative opinion. You know, that's why, like, you always got to
That's why you have to be careful, right, Arlo?
You know, because there's going to be there's a bunch of one-star reviews. But yeah, if that was like a small percentage of people who had like faulty models or so, you know what I'm saying. And especially gamers. I mean, I'm one of them. We love sharing.
Yeah, are you a gamer, Arlo? Or are you self-employed Nintendo lawyer? Okay, easy shot, but I had to take, okay?
Our opinions. That's just, I don't know why. I really don't know why, but it is sharing our opinions. And especially gamers. I mean, I'm one of them. We love sharing our opinions.
Yeah, I love doing it too.
I don't know why. I really don't know why, but it is a thing. We just love to tell other people what we feel about video games. And so, yes, I recognize.
I feel like that's the same way with every medium, personally, but sure.
That it is possible that in this case, the vocal minority has kind of skewed my perception.
It's actually a 12-minute apology video he didn't need to make. I'm going to be honest, I think Arlo just likes the sound of his own. Because, yeah, I'm going to be honest, I don't know how you talk about this for 12 minutes, but I'm kind of logged in, chat. Let's see what he says. I'm curious now.
Perception of the general populace's reception to Super Mario Odyssey, and in fact, that is probably the most likely, especially because dissenting opinions, they do get seen. You know, there's the whole 2-hour-long video, or whatever everyone keeps referencing, that was why Odyssey stinks. I haven't seen it.
I haven't. Boo! He's not naming it. Boo! Classic Arlo! Classic Arlo! Okay, he hasn't seen it in all fairness, but all right.
I'm not even going to say that person had bad points or anything. Like, anybody's allowed to feel any way. But it is true, there's a certain sensational...
But certain opinions are better than others. They Arlo? Say Arlo, I know you want to.
Quality to not liking something that most people tend to like, so that's another reason why, you know, sometimes the negativity can kind of float to the surface. Okay, so that is the first thing that I recognize. The other thing that I recognize
What's the other thing?
Is that we all just have different experiences. You know, like, you really...
I mean, in what sense? Oh, let him flesh this out. What do you mean by that exactly?
Any person can be exposed to any number of things throughout their lives, and coincidences happen, you know? Like, we're all living in the same world, having the same basic experiences, and yet you can have one person who's just like, I've never heard of this. And you're like, what are you talking about? This? It's like super popular. I don't know. Sorry, I haven't heard of it. What do you mean you haven't heard of it? It's everywhere. There's movie posters. There's commercials. How could you not have? Do you live under a rock? No. Do you go on social media? Yeah. Then how? I don't know. It just happens. It's like a weird coincidental thing. Not everybody is going to be exposed to everything. And so in the case of internet discourse, you know, this is going to be affected by what YouTubers you watch and who you hang around with and what websites you go on to share information. And so another thing that is probably...
I'm not sure what he... I'm literally trying to process what he's... I'm not sure what he... He's saying his assessment of the internet is correct and everyone else is just ignoring. I don't think he's saying that. Hang on. Hang on. Well, no, man, it's just... Yeah, that... I don't want to accuse him of the Y word just yet. Hang on. I think I recognize that people just have different experiences, you know? Like, any other person could be exposed to any number of things throughout their lives, and coincidences happen, you know? Like, we can all be living in the same space. Maybe he's trying to say that, like, I think because of the media that we've experienced going into something, it might influence our opinion of something when we experience it. Like, for example, someone playing Odyssey for the first time, having played no Mario games, would probably have a different experience of someone who's played, like, every Mario game, you know? Is that maybe what he's trying to get at? I think. If that was the case, I think you formulated that very poorly. I have no idea what you were exactly trying to get at here. Maybe that's what you're trying to say. It's just a weird coincidental thing. Not everyone's going to be exposed to everything, and so in the case of internet discourse, you know, it's going to be affected by what YouTubers you. Is it nice opinion? Did a YouTuber give it to you? I think you're saying that because of just because there's a popular sentiment, it doesn't mean everyone sees it. He hasn't seen the same positivity, though. It's more common sentiment nowadays. Maybe that's what he means. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I suppose probably could have done better phrasing that, but I suppose it's a second channel slot video, so I'll give you a pass.
Happening, it's probably all happening.
In which case, yeah, that's true. Yeah, like, your experiences going into something through your life do affect how you perceive something as a whole, which is good, which is like true to acknowledge. Which is why personally, I tend to, at least when it comes to when I navigate online stuff, I generally tend not to take anyone's opinion too hard in earnest until I've seen what kind of experience they have going in. Like, obviously, I'll acknowledge that if someone, for example, said, "Oh, Odyssey sucks," I'm like, I'm not gonna get like immediately go from like 0 to 100. Does that make sense? I'm gonna go, okay, why did you think Odyssey sucks? And if they can give me some genuine reasons, like, are you more of a fan of the Galaxy style than the other? Like, well, you've seen it sometimes, right? I'll try to like find like the connection that has made you maybe have that sort of experience, or is it something that unique within the game? You know, is the reason why you think Pokemon SV sucks is because you haven't played a Pokemon game since you were a kid, and you remember liking Pokemon a lot as a kid, but now that you're playing Pokemon as an adult, you don't like it? So is it the game that's bad, or is it the fact that when you played as a kid, you were doughy-eyed and like you loved video games, the first video game you played, so of course you're gonna love it, or as you're an adult, like obviously your back hurts, you've got school in the morning, so obviously like the things around your life are gonna be the reason you don't really like it that much. That could be it, do you know what I mean? Like stuff like that could probably influence it, which is why generally when I want to like really get into the weeds of a conversation with someone, I like to know what was your background going into this, then we can analyze your actual take, you know? That's what I like. That's what I like to do. And until I've done that, I'll generally tend to take someone's opinion at like arm's reach. You know what I mean? I'll tend to take it at arm's reach. Like right now, so someone said Odyssey was mid. I'm not going to take their opinion in earnest until I've done like my cross-examination, so to speak. Right? When I've talked about you a bit, like I'll see what you feel like, and I'll see how earnest your opinion is. You know what I mean? If someone came into my Odyssey with the exact same set of gaming experience in me, and that you played a variety of video games, you played almost every Mario game, but you still didn't find Mario Odyssey that interesting, I'll be like, okay, that's something where I'm like, okay, I'm invested now. I'm invested. Does that make sense? Now I'm gonna see what you have to say, and I'm gonna like take it a bit more in earnest. But until then, I just keep it on arm's reach. I think that's something that you guys should probably practice. I think that's probably better for everyone, really. Like, unless you know for sure someone's experience going into it, is it worth getting up in arms about? You know, that's what I would say to you. Like, again, my Pokemon example is actually definitely a good one, in the sense that if someone says SV sucks, are they saying it because the performance was bad, which is fair? Are they saying it because the intended level order was stupid? Fair. Or are they just saying it's bad and like they won't give any reasons? Like, oh, when you did it, oh, it's because you played Pokemon as a kid, and it's like, okay, well, now I can just simply go throw away your opinion. Yeah? So I would say avoid taking too many people's opinions on the internet in earnest until you've done like a bit of due diligence as to why they came to that. Unless they're willing to explain. If someone says blank mid, I don't care. Unless you explain it, I just don't care. I just don't care. Go away. So that's generally my philosophy on it. Sometimes people who say they don't actually critically praise thing, most people like, even if they actually like the thing, everyone else deep down because they just want to be different. There is definitely a bit. See, again, that's another factor that you have to consider as well. Some people just like being different. Take it from me, I like to be different. But like for me, I like being different when it's earned. You know, like there's definitely a sick, twisted part of me that wants to hate the next 3D Mario, so I can be like, yes, it was me! I hate it! And here's the reasons why. And always serve Moresty gamers, so you know I have reasons and arguments. Woo, I am the villain, the Mario community. But like, I'm most likely going to love it and it's going to be the best game ever. But like, with other people, you're not sure. Do you know what I mean? Are they being different? That's another thing to consider. So would you take this person's opinion in earnest when you're not sure if they're actually being earnest themselves? Another factor to consider, yeah. I think seeing your vids helped me do the same. When someone told me a few years ago they hate a movie, I'll probably go from like 0 to 100, but I hear them out now. If their defense is terrible, yeah, exactly. You gotta like do a bit of like cross-examination, you know what I mean? Like put on the Phoenix Wright music, you know what I mean? You have to like, so what's going on here? Where were you the night of the murder? You gotta like, you gotta kind of like get into the weeds a little bit. Until then, I would say just there's no point. I'm surprised people keep viewing Coliseum and XD as such different experiences. It's like the Galaxy games. They're all different games with different qualities, but it's all one aura experience. Something like that, yeah. I like, for example, I saw someone in my comments on one of my recent videos saying they fucking hate Pokemon Coliseum because of like the restrictiveness of the Pokemon pool. I'm just like, I think that's, in hindsight, I think that's one of the coolest things about Coliseum. Like, it's oops all Johto, but like, hey, yeah, listen, like you get, one of the coolest things about Pokemon is that like you get to choose your team. You get to choose the variety of team members. So having a Pokemon game that doesn't let you do that, I would say is quite fascinating. It's one of the things I think is quite fascinating about it. I don't get to choose my team members. I have to deal with the situation as is. And there's something quite fascinating about that. I understand it's not for everyone, but I think there's something quite fascinating about that. That's true, but then people will take any opposing opinions and dismiss it because it's a contradiction, even if it's well formulated. Yeah, but like that's just the internet discourse. You got to tank the psychic damage. You just got to tank the psychic damage. It's just one of those things that happens. And the 2010 era of Sonic has taught me to be wiser when spotting detractors from a distance and whenever I should engage or not with the arguments. Yeah, basically. Johto, Pokemon are boring? Yeah, but you're boring in the Matt Sausage. You're boring. Hey, let's continue, Arlo. Sorry, I'm too busy yapping at my chat to yap your yap. Keep yapping.
In combination is that just my experience with witnessing Super Mario Odyssey discourse has been mainly negative. And so I do, so okay, so let's talk about that though. Let's talk about my experience. This is why I feel like I'm being Mandela here. I'm being gaslit. Because like I like, it's so weird that I'm making this video. Like I'm struggling to believe this. I have to believe it. If everyone is telling me that overall people love Odyssey.
I mean, you could just look up videos yourself. It's not even people are telling you. I mean, you can just do the due diligence yourself, like Arlo. Like, in all fairness, I don't know if that's a statement you're saying flippantly, but like when people said Odyssey bad, Odyssey, like when you were like, oh, I thought Odyssey was bad, and people were like, no, it's good. You could just literally go Mario Odyssey review and just like look at the discourse. You can like look up Mario Odyssey on Twitter and see what the modern conversations are like. I don't know. I know.
See, I have to believe it, and I would love to believe that. It has been a wound in my heart for all of these years that it seemed so divisive.
Because, I don't know. Get research better, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Because I love that game, and I want to see more games like it. And I was always.
I'm just like, I'm trying to empathize. Has there ever been a moment where there was a game that like I thought was like super divisive, but it turns out no, it's all like there's no war here. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. I can't say that's ever happened to me because again, whenever I do feel that way, I'm someone, I'm sure you guys have known this about me if you've been watching me long enough, but I'm someone where like I don't believe it unless I see it. Like I just don't. Like even if I feel like my intuition's correct, I need to see it with my own eye. That's just what I'm like. So if like I was convinced that Odyssey is really divisive, I would look into this. Like my brain just would not let me go, I'm gonna let that lie. I would have to do my own due diligence. I would just have to. Like you've seen it on my streams of that. I'll just look stuff up like on the fly on stream because I'm like I can't mentally, I cannot progress until I've seen this for my own eyes. Like I just need to see it for my own eye. Like even though it's a little bit unhealthy because I suppose there's a lot of instances where you need to take someone's opinion and like you need to give them the benefit of the doubt a little bit, which I think I'll go on a little bit better at over time. But like more often than not, like I want to see it. Show me. Show me. Like, why would, like, for me, I see it as like, you have constructed this video for me to watch. There is a audio visual experience, visual being one of those things. Use the visual medium at its best. Show me. If you can show me, show me. Like, literally, the cup ranking, I think Spongy and Kevin have started editing that bit for me. When they hand me back the edit, there's some extra clips that I want to add for even more context. Even though they've done a good job showing context, I want to add even more because, show it. Why wouldn't you show it? You know what I mean? Like, in my head, I'm just like, show it, you know? That's what I would say. Even with the second channel, even with my Moresty channel, I feel like if there was an instance where I could show it, like I'd believe it enough, like I would tell Hot Wheels Gamer, hey, put it in the video. Put in the video, motherfucker, okay? Here's the timestamp, put it in the video. But like, Moresty's just a throwaway second channel, so I don't really care too much about it. But on the main channel, yeah, I'm like, why wouldn't I show people? In my head, I'm just like, why wouldn't I show people? But I suppose like I'm a bit pedantic about that sort of thing, so I kind of acknowledge, although this would take so far away from any of us, it's extremely difficult to empathize for someone who's been so disillusioned this exactly. I'm just like, how does this happen? How do you, what I'm saying is like, how do you not get so curious where you're just like, I need to look into this? I'm just like baffled. I'm baffled for you, Arlo. I really am. So we started out like, so yeah, basically. My bad.
Heartbreaking whenever I see someone who didn't like it. Here's the thing, though. I never see it brought up without
That's what. Hang on.
everyone dogpiling. Not everyone. Obviously not everyone. Like, obviously there are plenty of people who love Odyssey. I get that. It's not like everybody, but it feels to me like just about every time it ever gets brought up, there's this like huge rush of people, a huge group of people all talking about how they didn't like it, how it's disappointing. I mean, Kane himself, he likes it. He liked it fine. But even he was just like, there's just too many moons. It makes it not feel special. And
yeah, that's one of the general criticisms it gets. But like, there's a general criticism, and then there's divisiveness. You know, like one of the general criticisms, and I'm sure everyone's going to agree, one of the general criticisms that Breath of the Wild gets is the durability system. I would not say that Breath of the Wild is divisive. I'm not saying that. Again, one of the points of criticism is the durability thing, but I'm just like, for me, one of the things I love about the durability is that kind of forces you to like never rest on your laurels. You might find a good, cool weapon. Hey, you might find another even cooler weapon later. You know, that's just like how it goes. Odyssey discourse was poisoned when Joseph Addison made the video. I can understand discourse being poisoned when he made that video around that time, but like, just for context, how long ago was that video? How long ago? I think let's have a look, shall we? Mario Odyssey, Joseph Anderson, 7 years ago. You're telling me like a video 7 years old has shot enough ripples into the atmosphere for Arlo to have been gaslit for this long? I just don't believe it. Like I don't believe you. I absolutely do not believe you. If this was a video that came out relatively recent or one that people talk about still a lot, I'd be like fair. But like no, like I just don't believe it personally. In my experience, Arlo, I just don't believe you. Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where like this is a game so critically acclaimed, like most people just don't really like, you know. I don't know, man. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. Odyssey is in the middle period where it's old to the point where it's not exciting, but too new to be to the point where people haven't analyzed on a deeper level, like with the Galaxy games. I would say so. Maybe it's starting to get a bit old where people analyze it. But I feel like a lot of I think Odyssey conversation is one of those weird ones where anyone who's played it just knows they had a lot of fun with it. Anyone who didn't have it's one again, and this is something that ideally Arlo as a critic, some of the big powerful voice should already know, but one of the things that you just kind of, again, I think he said it at the beginning of the video, so he does kind of know this. When someone likes something, very rarely do you have to justify like. But when you don't like something, you do have to justify not like. That's just something naturally people do. So when you bump into someone that likes Odyssey, of course you're just going to hear, yeah, the game was great. It's amazing. Yeah. Okay, why didn't you like Odyssey? Oh, it's too many moons, the boss fights are on there. Do you know what I mean? Because like most people in there, like generally have to justify it. Because what happens? What happens when someone says to you, chat, I didn't like thing? What is the next question you ask? Oh, why? And I think it's just one of those things where like, so most people who don't like a thing have been asked why enough times where like, they already have their reasons, you know, holstered and ready to shoot whenever, you know? Whereas most people, when they like something, people don't go, oh, why did you like it? Generally, like, culturally, it's just something that doesn't happen. Right? So most of the time when you see people talk about it, you're not going to hear people go into specifics. If you ask me to go into specifics, it was just fucking fun, man. Like even me right now, having not played it for like 7 years now, I don't even think I could get into specifics. It was just a really fucking fun game. It made me feel like a kid again. I was like a kid in a sandbox. I'm feeling the exact same way about DKB. I feel like I'm just running around smashing shit, and it just feels fucking awesome, man. That's the same way with Odyssey. It feels like I'm just like running around capturing shit, you know what I mean? Like it's just, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm yapping twice as hard as Arlo. I don't mind the abundance of moons in Odyssey, but I do slightly prefer having only 120. Yeah, like again, it's an interesting conversation about, do you prefer like the focused challenges of stars, or do you prefer like the sandbox approach of just, hey, here's an open world, just fuck around in it and see what happens, you know? The only time I feel like I need to explain why I like something is when it's generally not like. Yeah, exactly. You see, but like when something's more often than not, something is generally tend to be liked, so the not likers have to justify. That's just how it goes. And again, you have to be cognizant of that. So when people do say they like it, you have to, as a critic, go into, okay, what do people like about it? Like, what are both sides here? Again, I feel like it's something that, as a critic, you should know. It feels a bit pretentious me saying that, but like, I don't feel like I'm that long in my critical gaming analysis career, so to speak. And I feel like this is something I've already mastered. I don't know. Dislike is met with why, admiration is met with that's great unless it's controversial. Yeah, exactly. It's just this is one of those things. Yeah, let's continue, Arlo, man. I could talk with you, chat, for hours. I really would. My specific are the kingdoms are all fun in their unique way. The moons are really fun to collect, but post-game dark side and dark side are really bloated. The boss are really made an OST's pig. Yeah, you know what? Fair. There you go. Hey, listen, Arlo, you want to see some positivity? There you go. Let's pin that on the chat, because we all know Arlo's going to watch this. Definitely is, huh?
Yeah, there's just too many moons. It makes it not feel special. And we have argued much about this. I've argued plenty. That, like, it doesn't make it a bad game, but it just doesn't have that special feel that the other Mario games have. It's not very replayable, you know? It's not something that you want to go back to. The experience was kind of It was kind of fine, you know? And I mean, you know, you could argue that not every game has to be a masterpiece, but at the same time, if you have a track record, if your series has a track record of, like, the most amazing games ever, you know, as 3D Mario games do tend to be, all pretty much very amazing, then, like, there is a certain standard. So a Mario game that doesn't live up to that standard, even if it's just pretty good, I still see that as someone being pretty darn disappointed. If like, you played Odyssey and you thought it was just like too many moons, it was too diluted, or like I'm trying to think of the arguments that I've heard, and again, even from Kane, don't go dogpile him. He's great.
I'm gonna right now. I'm gonna right now. I want to play Bulldog with him. I'm gonna play 40. I'm gonna play it. I want to play Fortnite. That's what I'm gonna do. I want to dog on him hard, aren't we, chat?
Feeling sensitive information about our private discussions. No, but like the idea that I've heard from him and a lot of people, so many people.
Okay, but you know not to, right, chat? That's why. You dog on. You're only supposed to dog on me, okay? And then when you do, I ban you.
This comments everywhere is just like, there's too many moons, and so they don't feel special to get. And like, the experience is so spread out and broken up that you don't have as many of these like really good, like, I don't know how to put it. Take something like Mario Galaxy, where like every individual...
Yeah, as I said, this is one of the general... I would say more common criticisms you get from the people who didn't like Odyssey, which is fine. But again, divisive is an entirely different. I think what it is that you probably offhanded it. You either, from the seams of it, he genuinely probably thought it was divisive. But like again, that's why you gotta be careful with your word choice, I suppose, because like people will latch onto it. It's not divisive. It's just not, right?
Level had its own whole entire theme, and it was just like so focused and grand. You go into a level and now there's like a big giant robot stomping around. Like I guess each experience was so much more substantial, whereas Odyssey was kind of like, yeah, like kind of more watered down, more spread out, and that made it feel less special at the time. So then it just doesn't cement itself as a beloved Mario game. It was just kind of like, okay. That's what I've been hearing, and I'm not going to give my arguments against that right now, because that's not the point of this video. I don't feel that way about the game.
Neither do I.
The game. But like, I swear, every time it comes up, I hear all that. I swear, every single time anyone so much as mentions the game, everybody is just going on about, it's really not that great. You know, I say I want Odyssey 2, and I get a bunch of people being like, no, I don't want Odyssey 2. Odyssey stunk. I want Nintendo to move on to something else. It's been so consistent.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just been, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Again, like, the common criticisms are quite common, but like, it's common amongst a small contingent. Like, there's a difference between like general common criticism that you tend to hear and the volume of people that have them, you know? So, and I think you've mistaken the common criticisms you hear and assumed there's a higher volume. I think that's what it is. And also, you have to, something else to be quite cognizant of, which, again, even, I don't doubt sometime I'll probably fall for this. I don't doubt in the slightest. So I'm not going to give Arlo too much shit for it. But it's a negativity bias, right? I think it's just something that naturally happens. You're much more likely, especially someone at Arlo's size. I think if there's something, it hasn't happened to me yet, don't worry, chat, okay? I still love it when you guys give me compliments, okay? It feels very, very nice. But like, imagine once you reach like the heights that Arlo has had, like the compliments just don't really mean as much to you. You've heard them all. Like the dopamine high just isn't there. But like the negativity, it still hurts like a motherfucker, because that's just how it works. It's called negativity bias. It's just what happens. So you're much more. So just again, you have to be. Half the battle is just being cognizant of how your own fucking brain works, right? Which is why if I ever felt like I was being if I'm remembering the negativity too much, I'm going to do my due diligence to figure out, okay, what's the actual take here? Because there's you happening to hear something, but does it map with reality? And those are two totally different things. And you have to make sure you do your journalistic, your review due diligence, Arlo. Scary, I know. Scary. Doing work, eh, Arlo? Scary stuff, huh? Scary stuff, huh? Crazy. Odyssey can be expanded upon. You can definitely add much more cooler kingdoms, but you know, a bunch of cool areas. Yeah, no, definitely. Honestly, I think Odyssey 2 would be fun, but yeah, I'm at the point now where even though I loved Odyssey, I definitely would like a more focused Mario. I would definitely like a Galaxy 3 big. You know what I mean? Like a more 120 stars, focus levels, good challenge. That's what I would like. And then maybe after that, then we can do like another Odyssey 2 style game where it's like sandbox, moons everywhere, have your fun, make your fun of it, kick some rocks, find a moon. Do a 2D challenge, find a moon, take over a bullet bill, find a moon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I would like. Super Mario 3D Galaxy, exactly. Basically, the honeymoon's over. There are people that loved the game when it came out, but years later, their experience with it sours. Maybe something like that. But then again, there's something you have to be quite cognizant of in that, like, I think I've explained this before, right? Can I like, is it possible for me to like draw it on paint? I don't know if I can draw this on paint, right? Let me see if I can draw it on paint. All right, this is like time, okay? This is like time. Let's see, this axis is time. And this axis is like hype, right? So what ends up happening is, like the game will come out, like hype will be like all the way up here, right? And as it goes down, all the people who've played the game are like enjoying it for themselves. So like the natural hype you see in the internet is just naturally lower, right? So obviously that's when, can I use a different color? Red, let me use red. Give me a sec. That's when like, I would say the haters. We're gonna use red to represent the haters. Okay, we're gonna use the red to represent, and that's when like obviously since hater stocks are low because hype is high. You know what I mean? But then when hype is low because all the people who've played it, have had the conversation. That's when like it's like safe to hate it. Does that make sense? And that's when hater stocks end up being higher. You know? So when we're here, let me use a different color. When we're here, I think it's important to be cognizant that we're here right now, so we need to make sure that as a critic, Arlo, you are cognizant of these guys too. And you're supposed to find, where do you lie in the middle? Do you lie somewhere here? Do you lie somewhere here? Do you like somewhere here? Is it somewhere down here? Like as a critic, you have to be that voice that's a bit more cognizant. And conversely, when the discourse tends to be up here, you have to be cognizant of, is it actually here? Like, are we actually supposed to be here right now? Was like this like a fraud all along? Or are people just doing a thing and the game is actually secretly still like up here and you guys are just being negative Nancy's and you can just shut up, you know? You have to make that determination for yourself. You have to do your journalistic due diligence, you know? This is what generally tends to happen. Like, I don't think I'm wrong, am I? I think that just generally tends to happen. Like, hype tends to be here, so the hater stocks are low. And then when it dies down, hater stocks are high. Like, generally, that's just how it works from my online experience. So you just have to be cognizant. You have to be cognizant of that. Oh, you have to be cognizant. Okay?
Oh, and again, I recognize that like probably it's a mix of coincidence and of the vocal minority speaking. I mean, you know, if you give a video to 50,000 people, and if even 20 people, if they're if they're the first to comment and they really want to give their opinions on Mario Odyssey, and those are the ones that I see, then it's gonna feel like everybody feels that way. When really it's just the people who were inspired to go and share their dissenting opinion.
Again, and that's why you do a better job of reading the comments. Because like, yeah, like a highly upvoted comment is a highly upvoted comment. What do people in the comments think? Like, again, you can't let the likes determine. Like, for me, I see I don't know, man. Like, it's just a top comment could say, yeah, but Odyssey's bad though. Too many moons. But then you read the counters. Are there any good counters? Are there counters with the counter? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. The shit seems to just come quite naturally to me. I don't know. Maybe Arlo's just learning. Maybe Arlo's still learning. Maybe he might be a million subs, and maybe he's still baby. You know, he's still learning. I got a lot to teach you, Mr. Arlo, man. Okay, take my class. Okay, very cheap. Very cheap. Very cheap, okay?
And I have
$100,
to admit that it's got to be a combination of that. It's so hard to believe.
Yeah, you've been gaslit, bro.
This has been my reality. Really,
Strange.
If it is true that I've been Mandela affected, then like I really did come from a reality where this was a thing. There were times when it felt like half of the people who played Super Mario Odyssey came away disappointed.
Jesus fucking Christ. 50%, yeah? 50. 50. He needs some milk.
Away feeling like it just really wasn't you know, it's fine, but it just wasn't memorable. You know, it didn't live up to the standard of Mario Galaxy and 3D World and all that. That has been my reality. And again, it has hurt me. It has made...
I'm thinking, why does he care this much? Again, his second channel slot video, I don't think he actually cares that much. I think he's just farting into a mic for 12 minutes. I don't think he actually cares that much, in all fairness.
Sad. I love Mario Odyssey. It's so good. It's like the best Mario game ever. So I suppose I should be happy if it is true that
it's
the
true,
people
yes.
giving those dissenting opinions really did represent a very, very small vocal minority, to the point where if I mention it in a video, now almost everybody is being like, "What are you talking about?"
Yes.
That's
So I just want to clarify, Arlo. You all like go out of your way to never swear in your videos. And yet,
great.
And yet,
I mean, that's great news.
And yet you had the nerve, the gall, to like just free the nipple, like live in front of like thousands of people. Arlo, I don't know. Bit of cognitive dissonance there. I'm not gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Shit. Gotta be careful with that, Arlo, man. Gotta be careful.
About? That's great.
Odyssey left me very disappointed. Yes, Montana. Gaslight him. Gaslight him some more. Gaslight him some more. Gaslight him some more, Montana. You're doing a good job. You're doing it. Gaslight him some more. Gaslight him some more, okay? Gaslight him some more. Come on. Do it in his comment section, Montana, okay?
I mean, that's great news. I'm confused, but like, no, that's great. If you're telling me that most of you really loved Odyssey, and it wasn't a big deal that there were like too many moons, you know, it didn't feel too diluted or whatever. It was still a really good, memorable experience.
Even if it's on a second channel, he uploaded it. There's no excuse to vomit into a mic for 20 minutes straight, no matter what the channel. I don't know, bro. This is a second channel, okay? I've got no... Listen, I run a second slop channel as well, okay? You're asking the pot to call the kettle black, okay? Go on now.
Still consider it an all-time classic like all the other 3D Mario games. You love to return to it from time to time. Then that's great. Then that really is great. That really is good news. So
it is good news.
So yeah. So I am happy. I am pretty happy.
Glad you're happy.
Maybe the people who weren't super satisfied with it, maybe it wasn't that many. Maybe it really was just a few people, one of whom created a now famous 2-hour-long video about why Super Mario Odyssey stinks.
It's the second time you've mentioned that video, Arlo. Have you actually not seen it? Have you actually not seen it, Arlo? Yeah? I don't know, Arlo. Second time now you mentioned the Joseph Anderson one. Do you have something you want to say about that? Arlo? Make a response video, Arlo. Come on, now. You know you want to, okay? Yell at him. Yell at Mr. Anderson. Do it for me. Do it for me. You be my goat, okay? Do it for me and my life is yours, okay?
I don't know. I would invite you all to go down to the comments and let me know what you think about Mario Odyssey. Try to clear this up a little bit, but see, that's the thing. If I get a bunch of comments saying that you don't like Mario Odyssey, it's just gonna freak me out. So just do it.
I don't know, man. Maybe you've just... he's been discourse poisoned. This is actually like discourse poisoned 101 chat. Actually like unreal, man. Actually unreal behavior. Holy... How did my guy go the last... How long has Odyssey been out for? Like 8 years now? This man went the last 8 years of his life thinking this game was divisive. I don't know how that happens. I want to be so honest, man. I don't know how that happens for 8 years, man. Jesus Christ. That is actually a generational gaslight. Round of applause to everyone in your life, Arlo. I don't know how 8 years, broski. But hey, at least we're finally back in our reality. You know what I mean? That's the best I can say. Jesus Christ. There was a line in this video where he said that people don't like an Odyssey hurt him, but I think we paused and restarted in the middle of it. Really? That'd be a very strange line. Very strange if true. Hang on, let's can we do a VAR check? If it turns out it's not true, Pits, you're banned, okay? Let's go hurt. Oh, here it is.
That has been my reality. And again, it has hurt me. It has made me sad. I love Mario Odyssey. It's so good. It's like the best Mario.
I mean, in all fairness, I do think it's quite natural to be a bit sad that a game you love is not as loved as you thought it was. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. You know, check complete. I think Arlo's fine for this. It's like with SV. I would say to some degree, obviously not a big degree, but I would say to some degree that's kind of me with Pokemon SV. Like, I genuinely think there's a shit. It's a bit of a shit. It does make it a tiny bit, not too much. I still love the game. Don't give a shit if anyone hates it. But I won't pretend there's not at least 1% of me that's just kind of like, you know, I thought it was a bit silly. It is a little bit silly. And knowing Arlo, I think I don't know, he might be a bit more in earnest. But I don't think it's that weird to want people, more people to love the game that you love. I don't think it's that weird. So, you know what? Check complete. I think he's fine for this. Trust me, you know, if I could rag on Arlo some more, I would. But I'm not gonna. I'll let him go on that one. Okay. But either way, gamers, let's have a look at the gaslighting in the comments. Let's have a look at the gaslighting in the comments. Let's have a look. Oh, what are you talking about? Super. You know, I'm giving that one a thumbs up. I'm giving that one a thumbs up. I feel like all I was trying to gaslight me to think is Super Odyssey is that, yeah, I think he is too. I think he is too. I think he's pulling our leg. He's pulling our leg, broski. He's pulling our leg, honestly. 2 default Dans in a row, by the way. I feel like I'm being gaslit right now. I was never the... Yeah, literally. I feel like he's gaslighting me. Real. I know he's onto us. Next, he'll figure out we gaslighting to believe in the Mega Mushroom was in Mario Kart way. Shit, true, honestly. I've seen far more people... Chat, move out of the way for a bit, okay? I've seen far more people be critical of Breath of the Wild, and I still would have called... Yeah, exactly. True! True! Honestly, I've seen more people call Breath of the Wild divisive, and I wouldn't even like call it that. No. I'm sure people out there with 2-hour videos on why they don't like pizza, but it'd be ludicrous to say pizza is the... W analogy? Hang on. What amazing analogy. Yeah, there's some people who fucking hate pizza. You are never in any reality calling pizza divisive. Actually amazing analogy. Thank you so much for that, Cityscapes 4165. Me with a Mario Odyssey division shaped belly. I don't know. These comments are brilliant. I remember one video critiquing Mario Odyssey pretty hard back in 2017. That's about it, though. Yeah, that's the Joseph Anderson one, right? Yeah, he said the same thing. Nathaniel Bartholomew UW again. Arlo, I literally have no idea what you're talking about. It's always been considered a much play for the Switch. The only divisive part was, yeah, some moons are kind of too easy. Yeah, exactly. Like the too many moons criticism. Yeah. I'm being real. I don't remember Odyssey. Yeah, literally. Arlo, you traveled to so many motivators through the power of Raycon's shameless sponsorship. L. I'm confused to how Arlo came to such a conclusion as Mario Odyssey's divisive. Sure, may not be everyone's absolute favorite 3D mode, but almost no one hated it. Honestly. When 9% of the time someone criticized Odyssey, they preface it by saying, I really like the game, but I don't think that makes it... True! True! This is genuinely the first time I'm hearing this game being divisive. I feel like our longest time was always referred to as the Switch's essential... Yep, true. I feel like I'm going crazy. I've never seen... True. 100% honestly, the first time... True. Tears of the game is divisive. Like, half people suck out of it. I would say I agree with that somewhat. Odyssey's a 97 and an 89 user score, far from divisive. For a game in the 3D collection genre, it's easy one to bet. True. This can be explained with one word. Oh my god, Pokeballer Luke. Giving him the one-word response. Good grief, man. Literally algorithms, man. Like, he did say that, like, some people, like, in his life, like his editors, were telling him, like, it's not that good, so I can kind of get that. But then again, that's why you just look into it a bit more, you know what I mean? Like, I can't, it just comes naturally to me, chat. Like, if I have, like, a certain worldview, and someone just comes in and goes, oh, no, Moresty, that's not right. I'm like, really? I'm Googling immediately. Like, I'm straight to the Google machine. I'm looking shit up, man. So you gotta be careful of that. I've never seen a large amount of hate Odyssey. As a one piece of evidence of people that loved it, look at more Odyssey YouTube videos. The few channels with whose Odyssey videos still their consistently highest performing video. People love the game. Just like anything, there's valid criticism and people don't like it. I just think maybe you're surrounded those people. Maybe you live in a Mario Odyssey hate echo chamber. Damn. Arlo's usually in the, like, positive echo chamber, right? Crazy. I heard there's too many moves complaint and not moves are created equal, but it seems like everyone concedes it's fantastic, even with those Yep, true. Literally, yeah, there's a whole ass man. There's like a whole ass, grown ass, voting age ass man living on this YouTube website. He called himself Odyssey Central because he loves that video game. You know what I mean? So yeah, honestly, literally, yeah, I think all the comments are basically of that ilk, saying, yeah, you've been gaslit, broski, which is fair, honestly. Extremely fair. Any news? Any news in the news? Legit, what are you talking about? I concur with many of the other comments. It's not perfect, but divisive isn't remotely close. True. Odyssey is a beautifully created game, but fairly flawed because of the moon system. Galaxy clears. Downvote. It seems that I've seen a little bit of negativity, mostly positive. True. I love the game. No issue with the moons or anything. It's right behind my all-time favorite Dark Souls 1. Ooh. FF7 Crisis Core, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, Super Mario Land 2. Bit of a shout, but you know what? I fuck with the energy. I fuck with the energy. Yes, this is weird. True. I enjoyed Mario Odyssey, but do you think it was kind of disappointing? Hey, Montana, is this you? Is this you? I'd replay again to be able to voice my gripes with the game. Thinking back, I think it was just general disappointment. One of the things I remember really was the fondness of the War World, Luncheon World, and Forest World. I feel like you saying a lot of people are overcorrecting for what they think is an overrated game. I can see myself saying something like Mario Odyssey wasn't even that good if the right situation presented itself. I appreciate the honesty. Do you know what fair? I know enjoy it. I don't love Odyssey, but okay, it's a fantastic game. But the best 3D platformer, the best 3D Mario game, I don't know about that. The argument could be made. Everyone has opinions. Yeah, fair. You know, even like the sorting by newest, the people are being like relatively chill and just telling, yeah, you're just kind of like, no, you know, just fair, you know, respectable. I hate Odyssey on release, but it's pretty good thinking back. Gay Wario, fucking hell, we have Penis Wario and Gay Wario now. Talking about the vocal minority, yeah, I was really fucking vocal with this. Is all real. I remember being one of the people you were talking about. It was him. He was one of the agents. He was one of the agent. Gay Wario was one of the sleeper agents gamers that fucked with Arlo. Damn, you know, I'll upvote for the honesty. I appreciate it. I never liked the game from the start. My main issue with the game is that it's simply so huge, but there's very little unique enemies to it. Only little over 40 for an 880 moon game. Of the half the enemies are brand new to Mario, and it feels like many flagship Mario enemies that shouldn't be there were unexpectedly left out. Personally, I'm okay with this. I'm more than okay with this. A kingdom as big as Seaside, mostly populated by cheap combos and gushings, feels disappointing for how great Mario games have been with underwater enemies. Yeah, fair critique. And so it all comes an issue with there's so many moons, because you see the same few enemies regurgitated the same few platformer challenges over and over, and nothing is new until the final boss fight, or rather a rehash of what you've already seen. And yet it still makes up the vast majority of the game. I still think every area was so unique and fun to explore that kind of, even if it turns out, yeah, Moresty, every galaxy has a this moon and a that moon and a this moon and that moon. I'm like, it was still so fun and unique to traverse it, especially with the movement, that I didn't feel like I was still doing the same thing. I didn't feel like it was a rehash, you know? So even if you could technically describe it as it, I wouldn't. I just didn't feel that way personally. Maybe on a replay I might, but I didn't feel that way. I also agree there's too many moons. The kingdoms are vastly inconsistent in size, and a lot of the captures aren't fun to use and are repeats of each other. I don't know. I find the captures very fun personally. I find the captures very fun to use. Like there's something about capturing a tree and just making it do like these dumb little hops. I don't know. I thought the game was, guys, I'm gonna say it. I thought the game was very charming. So there's ways, that's why I prefer Wonderland 3D World, because at least the enemy variety makes different parts of the game feel more unique. Galaxy 64 also wins with enemies than Odyssey, even SMP for enemies. This guy really seems to like really emphasize enemy variety, which is a fair thing to want in a Mario game, especially a big Mario game. But to me, I don't know, I guess I just don't value it as much, and I just don't agree with his general conceit of rehashing, so you're not fair. Fair, I suppose. You're not fair. He voices thoughts, you know, fair. This game is an instant classic. Why can't we Nintendo gamers be gaming patriots, huh? Yeah? Why can't we be patriots gamers? Why can't we just all like the same shit? It's me, Arlo. I didn't like Odyssey. Alright, Aiden. Aiden Maldonado. Alright, Aiden. I feel like it's all my freedom. Yeah, you're not fair. You're way into the weeds of this topic compared to most people. You made a career of it. You're not getting a normal amount of type of feedback with these things. People tend to like Odyssey because they don't outright hate Odyssey. So no, not what I would consider divisive. You know, you should listen to if you don't listen to me, Arlo, listen to Brisby169. You know, listen to Brisby169. You're way into the weeds of this topic. You're way into it. You're too into it. Okay, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. Okay, Arlo, that's what it is. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Anyway, closing thoughts. These are one of the strangest videos I've probably seen on this entire website, if I'm going to be honest. The fact that there is a human being out there on planet Earth that walks among us who has been convinced for the last 8 years that this game is divisive is honestly laughable if it wasn't just utterly strange. So I'm glad that you're finally brought back into our reality, Arlo. And what I would say is, if there are any lessons to be learned, be cognizant of the biases at hand, because as I said, as a critic, Your voice is very powerful, and you want to make sure that your voice is as accurate as it possibly can be. You do not want situations like this to ever happen again. If it would, I'd consider it utter failing of you at your job. So while this was definitely a slap on the wrist offense, I would say if something like this ever happens again, you have me to deal with, okay, Arlo? And you don't want that, okay? I'm a big meanie, okay? I'm the big meanie monster in your closet, okay? And I'm going to come out and jump scare you like, ooh, that's what I'm going to do, okay? So anyway, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there, gamers.